Hi friends, this is Sarah from Crafting and Relaxing. I'm quite a bit ahead for filming for March because I was trying to get some things situated. So I'm thinking about a pretty major tidy up for, I don't know, maybe the next week. And maybe I'll make you videos along the way here and there. It is Monday morning, probably about 6 a.m. It's still dark, the girls are wrestling. I have started a little bit, clearly not over there, but I've started over here. What I'm trying to do is accept the fact that I now have these two very young rowdy kittens and get some more stuff off the counters. I, months ago when I did a tidy up, had sort of an art journaling set up here with a pile of art journals that I haven't touched. So I put most of them away. I left this one because I wanted to see it, but I'm worried Zelda's going to peel the vellum off. And I'm just going to make my counters more cat safe and try and get things put away. This is Christmas that I still haven't put away. I think it's March 4th. And I've just been adding to it, but I haven't put it away. Receipts I pulled out of a drawer because it was overflowing. I think I want this to be my journal. I just pulled it out of my stash, and I think it's going to be my beach journal, which I would have gone a little less nautical if I had thought of that, but I think that's what I'm going to do with that one. I'll just start going through. Some of these bins are too full. This is the start of my go away box. I just gave it away last week, I think. Just a few things in there, but it has to be shut because there is a crinkly bag, which Zelda loves, of eyelets in there. So I don't think that could be exposed. So anyway, this is where we're starting. And I don't have a tripod in here. I don't have one set up, but I think you'll see big difference at the end. That basket, we went through that maybe in a video on the table in the middle of the room. I don't know. I should probably check my playlist for tidying. I haven't touched anything since we worked on it. So it's journal making supplies. Those envelopes in the back I would consider for covers. Other things are pages. There's patterns, sheet music, player piano roll, all kinds of stuff. I haven't touched it. I typically look for signatures and pages for journals in this stacker, which has become a pretty good habit for me, but there's not nearly the variety in there. That bin got created when I cleaned out the cupboard of shame. There's a blanket in there now for kitties. So that's where we are. It is a hot mess. There's a almost finished, maybe UFO journal right there. Envelopes Andrea gave me. I mean, it's just, yeah, it's all kinds of stuff. And this will be way out of sequence. It is, what did I say, March 4th? And you probably won't see this till April, but it'll give you some good perspective on what I got done. What do you think of my work so far? Not happy with it. Not impressed. No? This is Zelda, and that's Eliza. I'll be back. Hopefully it'll look different. I would like the surfaces to be accessible, and I probably need to put all the washi tape away and limit the access to the die wall, which I think would help if I took away that stool and then maybe put tall stuff. Maybe those journal cover items, if they were right there, that would protect them a little more. The cats just need to get a little bit older. I was a little bit stumped on where to start because I have big dreams. Like I want to go through the pet bins down there and sort it into cards and journals. I think I had cats and dogs before, but I think I want a card pet bin and a journal pet bin. I'm not sure yet. Instead of making a bigger mess, I decided to set a 30-minute timer and go around the room and clean it up. Give myself a starting base so that it doesn't get worse and worse and worse. And I got the counters cleaned off. I opened up the cupboard down there where I had stashed some packing materials that Zelda was trying to eat, threw those out, dumped the garbage, tidied up, and tried a little bit of cat proofing. I think this gives me a better starting place to move forward. And I even figured out another project for later in the month. I am concerned because usually when I set a timer, I can focus on tidying. This wasn't during the timer. I think just tidying my room, I'm going to struggle with. So I may need to use a timer even for deep organization, because otherwise you start digging through your room and you find cool stuff and you get sidetracked. And part of my thinking as I go through things is I need to put lids on stuff like this. This is not kitten safe. And I cleaned receipts out of a drawer. I just need to get some things cleared out. So I think I will try and figure out what my next steps are before I decide to start another project. After I did my big tidy, I wasn't sure where to start, so I made a list. Sitting on the couch drinking coffee is an easy way. Pets are a category that's gotten away from me. I have this box down here. I have 2 iris cases when I used to have 1. Let's go through and set up an iris case that's ready to make pet cards out of, instead of having 2 cases, mixed journal and card stuff. Sometimes when you sort things, you aren't thinking about how you really want them. I had a day when I wasn't feeling great, and on the couch, I sorted these bins. Believe it or not, this is the after improved. It was bad. I sorted them into dog and cat, but what I wasn't really thinking, and then I've added on top because I skipped my step of masking tape labeling. So one's not labeled and one still says pets. So when I shove things in them, who knows? What I am now thinking about is I'd like an easy box, so not too full, maybe not too much variety, to make dog cards for. If you're new here, I make cards for a dog rescue, so I want a bunch of those. So I'm going to put card stuff in another box, I think, because these are too full to mess with, and I think it would be easier to just take some stuff out than exploding this whole thing. And that will be my card making box for the dog rescue. And I haven't made her any in a while, so I probably need to think about making at least 20 or 30 cards. The trick in how I separate card versus journal items is I already chopped these into card size fronts, so these could be pockets, but we're on our way to being cards here, right? Oh, look, that one's pretty much done. Okay, so we have those. And then also, if I have a whole bunch of like items, those probably need to go on cards because I won't decorate them all throughout a journal. Let me give you an example. It's not an accurate one, but say Noni had made me 20 dogs with the exact same coloring like this dog. I would want to put those on cards, not journals. And stuff that's a little more junky, like this is probably going to go in a dog journal or book or something, not on a card. It very much could. You could iron it and make your card front out of this, no problem. If you don't have any pet paper and you take your dog to the groomer, wash and save those. An ephemera pack, I'm probably going to use most of these in a journal, like one spoiled rotten dogs, dogs leave paw prints on your heart. That one would be a great sympathy one, wouldn't it? All of these random dogs, those could go either way. So we'll just put together a small, manageable kit to make dog cards out of. Not so much that I'm paralyzed by indecision when I go to make them, okay? I realized this is probably more of a series than one video about spring cleaning my room. These I imagine as cards. And there's no right or wrong. They could easily be journal pockets. I don't even know why these are in here, so let's leave them. But as I thought about how much stuff I have to work with and how much there is to do, I think it might be like a spring cleaning series. Most of these, I think, are journal. There's a lot of journal embellishments. This would be a fun paper for a card. This one too. Oh, that's just all around gorgeous. Blue flowers. I'm sorry, we are not using those cut aparts. Ugh. That might just have to come out and like go in my stash. Stay focused, right? Okay, this is 8-inch paper, I think. So we can make a couple of card fronts, even if we go full size, and then we'd have a lot of scraps. So let's plan on these 2 for cards. They'll be fabulous. And part of the reason I'm choosing this paper for cards instead of some other pad in here is this is the first one I picked up. And our goal is to make cards. Well groomed, my favorite. I think that's more journaly. This is a rescue, so I don't want it to be too pretentious, right? I want this to be every breed, super welcoming. Those are pretty, but not that relevant. I'm not probably going to use these so much in pet cards, but they do have the colors that go, so we'll leave them. For now, we're going to leave that. Okay. Dog journal number 2. Look at this. I prepped UFOs. Dog journal number 1. Okay, here's a thing of scraps. Let's take that to make cards with. That'll be great. Dog journal decorating. Remains can be for cards later. Okay. Cat. I don't know how that got in here. It took a wrong turn. Anything this size, I'm going to try and use for a 12 by 12 page. Like, look at how cute this is. This will be great. They're super cute. Zeus doesn't have any 12 by 12 pages yet. He needs some, doesn't he? Stickers. Let's throw these in the card making thing. This too. These are nice paw papers. Let's throw that. Any scraps that we have. A lot of this was happy mailed or came into my life, so I haven't necessarily seen it. Man's best friends. Fetch. To err is human, to forgive is canine. Good dog. Man's best friend, maybe, with a dog embellishment next to it. I'm not so sure about those as cards. Okay, now I just want to think about how many pages do we have. Let's look in here and see if there are some 3x4 cut aparts. These we're probably not going to use on cards. They're big and nap, play, eat, repeat. I'm not that into hydrants. I don't know. I don't let my dog pee on a hydrant anyway. I'm just not that into it. It would also help me if there weren't 12 by 12 papers in the kit. That's just a nitpicky thing because of paper cutter access and stuff. But I don't know that I have a lot. So let's look in this other one and see. Let's put these in here for now. What a hot mess I have over here. I think we're going to use that in a journal. I think I already see it being a journal. Now this box down here is all cat stuff I see. Oh, these dog houses are adorable. We could use a couple of these for both. Could be a notepad and, oops. We could take some of Noni's dogs and put them in front of this dog house that I think Nancy gave me. Can't remember. Okay. Yeah, this looks very cat. Oh, I also like this stamp. Rescued is my favorite breed. That's great for a dog rescue, isn't it? Some dog washi tape. Some little dog paw. These are cute for cards. They're great for journals, too. Okay. I think that's it. Let's see how many cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And this. Okay. And then we'd have some solids or some other stuff mixed in. I think that's probably enough. Oh, maybe we should add this in. I'm trying to restrain myself. This is, oh, cats and dogs. Okay, let's throw this in too. It's dog embellishment stuff. Might add a little variety. And I may also, I know, don't do what I do. If you put a ton of stuff, was this just open in the box? Am I fascinating or what? Oh, here's a card. Yeah, seems like I just left this box open. If you put too much in your kits, it can be a little overwhelming. This looks like lots of good dog stuff in here, so let's put this in too. Can I bring my dog? That's going to go in a journal, so let's back it out here. This might be journal-y dogs. It doesn't specify. Okay. So we'll take that. We'll put it on there also. And probably some craft cardstock, and we'll be all set. One of the things on my list to do is take apart the Joy of Blue box because it's over half full and I'm not doing that collab, but there's so much in it that will dominoes another mess. So I need to find us a box to put this stuff in. Okay, I'm gonna try this. It's not one of my favorite containers. I got it at Daiso and I kind of thought I needed it, and I got another size too. It's not big enough to do a lot of things, but it is really nice to make a small kit in. And we're gonna have some little boxes that don't fit in it, but at this point in my life, I don't think I have any iris cases that are empty, which is kind of a reflection of our situation. I typically have an iris case empty in my car for shopping. I typically have one ready for projects. I have several that have filled up over time and not emptied, and categories have crept larger. Oh, we're having an entrance by Zelda. Okay, I think 4 containers of stuff is too much. So let's just say we're gonna take these. And this one is actually for our card fronts to go in. So this will be our kit right here. This is our dog kit. And at some point we're gonna work on this because part of my Clear It Out, I had 18 paper collections that I marked in my Clear It Out series, but I also had concerns about my pet stuff, my postage stamps, and one other thing that I wrote down. So we do need to work on the pet stuff. I have plenty to serve the rescue near me, and I need to get to it. So for these two, I'm just gonna fit the stuff back in and close it. I didn't pull out stamps and dies yet, and I'm thinking I won't because I have so much stuff in those other boxes. If I can't make cards out of those, we've got problems. Then we have this empty. This is a Job Pocket. Lots of people store cardstock in these. I'm just going to put it away in the cupboard with its friends. I like to have similar items. That's part of why I'm not that excited about that Daiso thing. I like to have a lot of the same storage container, especially if they stack, store together, go with each other. It just makes more sense for me and works. I'm going to put these 2 back on the shelf for now, and I think I earned a break. It's been a week, so I think it's time to close out the first in what is probably a spring cleaning series, right? I still haven't put the Christmas stuff away, but I have high hopes. I haven't done much here. This is a section I have packed up. I'm going to take a really long weekend at the beach, and so this is my go pile, and I think our pet stuff is down here, and some stamping supplies. So probably making pet cards. I'm not sure what else I'm actually planning to work on. I don't know. It was more of a hodgepodge of items. It wasn't a plan for one project. Then I've been making card bases because if I want to make pet cards, I need some bases. Those I'll just, when they're dry, I'll clean them up. So it's not as bad as it looks, right? It takes like 2 minutes to clean all that up. And this cupboard I've been thinking about. I have these amazing kitchen cupboards, but because I'm missing the drawer over there, I may have to someday actually cover that hole. The cats can get in and out of that cupboard back there, the big one. If you're new here, you just gotta trust me. So this cupboard and this cupboard are really only my cat-free spaces. And when I planned this room and started putting things away, I didn't have 2 kittens, right? So I keep iris cases on end in there. Well, I could keep iris cases anywhere. I could stack them out here. I could put them under there. They'd still be safe. And then in here, I have red, white, and blue and collections for me in iris cases. If I pull the iris cases out of these cupboards, I could use these cupboards for things like this that I want to keep safe from kittens. And here's another idea. Stick with me. I've been pondering this cabinet. I love it. It's actually my most viewed video ever. If you search crafting and relaxing and I think cabinet, it'll come up. Most views ever, like over 500,000. You won't believe what it looked like before. But if you look at the space of my room, When I started and set this room up, I didn't have, honestly, as many friends that would come and craft with me. And now my channel has helped me do that. So it would be nice if that cabinet wasn't there and then I would sweet talk Mr. Crafting and Relaxing. He could take the chair and the ottoman out when I'm going to have company and we'd have more room. The way it is right now with that fixed cabinet there, it just makes it tight. And the cupboard's kind of small. The drawers are kind of, I mean, sure, it's good, but it's not the best ever. And it gives Zelda access to the magnet wall. So anyway, I'm thinking about that. I'm really thinking about how this could be different and if I'd be okay without that. This top drawer has a lot of junk, and then I keep my cutting mats and dies that I'm hiding from Zelda. This is thread and sewing things with the sewing machines behind me, so that doesn't really make any sense. I used to keep my Pixie on top of this. Bottom is mailing supplies. Top is books that used to be in a stack on the carpet, and then a whole bunch of buttons and random things back there. All adhesive bottom drawers, all adhesive books because they were in a stack on the ground. I mean, really, the books could be in a stack on the ground. Embellishments, probably need half of them. So, I don't know. I don't know that we need this forever. And maybe I would be happier without it. If Zelda gets a hold of this, she'll eat this. She threw some of this up one day, so I have to be super careful with that. So anyway, I'm kind of brainstorming. You can see on top of the iris cases, stamps. Yeah, got to deal with the stamps. Still haven't done anything. I am brainstorming about them. The reality is these 3 bins over here are done. Completed items that probably should list on Etsy or do giveaways. Did you guys notice? I am headed for 10,000 subscribers. It's crazy. Mixed media is the cart. These are my collab boxes, and like sewing, I haven't gone back in that box in forever. They just need to be moved and dealt with and thinned. So I could pull iris cases out of there, thin some of these out, make some adjustments. At one point, I stored that bottom brown box is all envelopes. And at one point, I stored envelopes in the other room for a while. I could do that with like overstock. Under there, I could put a whole stack of iris cases. Just move a bunch of that stuff. I mean, there's a lot I can do. Iris cases are cat-proof. I am putting stuff in the go-away box. I am thinning things out. So I'm getting better, but it is not impressive yet, is it? For sure not. All right. Is it spring yet? Okay, technically it's not spring yet, so I'm still ahead. Oh, okay, I hope that I'll have a video that looks significantly different and I'll share with you, and it'll feel less cluttered. I mean, really, I think I still have the same amount of stuff on the counters, and I think there's some opportunity down here. The other thing is, saving packaging is good. Saving this much packaging, this is all the packaging from stamp sets or 6x6 pads or something. And I have more in the other cupboard. Maybe I don't need that much. Those are art journaling magazines, which I kind of love to read those and keep them. So maybe I'll take one of those to the beach with me. Maybe I'll get a cold, rainy morning and sit around and read it. Look, deli, paper, napkins, tissue patterns. Yeah, I didn't even know that was in there. Okay, probably not going to use it if it's in there. It's junk journaling stuff mixed in where I would look for card making supplies or scrapbooking stuff. So that's something you have to think about, is put things where you'll actually look for them. I'll be back soon, and I don't know. It will look different. I don't know if it will look better.